Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over. And surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Monday. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. Today is the 20th of November, 2023. Christmas beckons, is coming. The question on the minds of many Ghanaians is whether or not they have what it takes to celebrate Christmas, whether their pockets will be empty or whether their pockets will be full. Well, for the people of Mepe, there's good news coming. I'll share that good news. But first, I want to say a very, very big thank you to the American Chamber of Business in Ghana. American Chamber of Business in Ghana, last weekend, they honored TV3, 3FM 92.7, and yours truly. And the citation said that we were being given this because of the hard work and contribution towards the promotion of the business interest of the American Chamber of Business in Ghana. Put a photo up, please. American Chamber of Business in Ghana.
Johnny's Bite. The Johnny's Bites. We love. We share love.
And that was a very beautiful ceremony there, Alexis Builder. You know, Johnny's Bite is, even with an American Chamber of Commerce, Johnny's Bite has audience. Johnny's Bite is there. So the real award will come to you when it has to come to you. So thank you very much indeed. We're grateful that you could honor us. And this is another scorecard. Yeah, there are people within, officialdom who will block every avenue, block every business that you have. But this is the scorecard. This is the scorecard. So congratulations to me. And thank you for all the support and the prayers that you give unto me. I want to say also thank you to all our affiliates across the world. In the United States, Conscious Vibes is an online platform. Lolonyo Radio in the Volta region, they are listening. And for those who can listen directly to 3FM, they listen through the Bangu FM in Tamale. And then also Dela Radio in the Volta region. So Lolonyo Radio, Dela Radio, Bangu FM, and then Conscious Vibes, they listen. Note the date, 28th of December. 28th of December. Circle that date, 28th of December. And make sure that you iron your white dresses and white clothes and white skirts and white shirts and everything. Get ready for the 3FM all-white party. Stoneboy will be there. Manifest will be there. 053 11 00 927. 053 11 00 927. And 053 22 00 927. 053 2200-927 and 053-1100-927. Stoneboy will be there. Manifest will be there. The samba dancers will be there. Fire eaters. So many things that will happen on the 28th. You need to call the numbers I've mentioned to you and grab a table for you and yours. Could be a company, a boss who wants to make sure that your staff are happy, energized, rejuvenized for the year that is yet to come, 2024. You could be a family, you could be a batch of friends. You can come there for your wedding reception, honeymoon, whichever it is. 053-1100-927 and 053-2200-927. I'll get on to the conversation, something that happened last week, and how the CLOGSAG have written a communique about a letter about it, asking for some punitive measures to be taken. But yesterday, just before I went to bed, somebody from Abosokan, because I grew up partly in Abosokan as well, and I grew up in that Abosokan area where we could go to Opongo Alasa, we could go and find alumi and copper, go and wait, even though we didn't come from a poor home, but we just were adventurous. We knew those who were doing affairs. If you go to Abosokan and ask them who does affairs, they know, and all of that. So we're looking at all those things. Then this my friend called me and says, you have to say something for us because the budget that was read does not really affect us the way we want it to affect us. I say, okay, what do you want me to say? He said, oh, the electric vehicles that the minister is talking about, He's even talking about electric vehicles that relates to commercial business. And that's for those of us in private business and those who have their private vehicles, the tax holiday will not affect them. I said, okay. Then he said, if that happens, people will lose their jobs. If that happens, the mechanics or fitter, as they call them in local parlance, will not find jobs to do. If that happens, the people who come to park our stuff in and out, in the morning they park it out, in the evening they park it back in, they will not have jobs. Their families, their relatives, all our nephews and nieces who depend on us, blah, blah, blah. I say, okay. I say, so what do you want me to say? He said, oh, just tell the minister to take the taxes off. I said, boss, were you not the same people at Abosokai who put monies together to support the campaign of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia as vice president? He said, yes. That's okay. Then I said, were you not the same people at the advent of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government in 2017 that reduced prices to give an indication that somebody else was inflating the prices and somebody else was ruling us badly? So we had to buy spare parts at very exorbitant rates. He said, yes. I said, so the people you gathered money for to support their campaign and the people for whom you reduced the prices of spare parts, have you ever bothered to go into a conclave with them to ask them that, why are you doing this to us? You are embarrassing us. They say we talk, but they don't listen to us. Spare parts dealers. The same spare parts dealers who put money together to support the campaign, they put money publicly together. They announced it publicly, and they gave it to the then opposition, now in government. They gave the money to them to support their campaign. The same set of people reduced the prices of spare parts drastically in celebration of the victory of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So how is it that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia are still in power, and then now the prices are going up, nobody is listening to them, and they are now calling media to... Did they give the money to them? Did you give the money to the media to go and present to the campaign office? Did you tell the media that you are going to reduce the prices, or you reduce the prices and ask the media to come and cover? I asked him those questions, and he was quiet on the phone, listening to me. What he said to me as a brother, I cannot say, but he used some expletives. I cannot say them on air because my uncles and my aunties will call me. My mother will call me herself. Let us be careful, because the over-politicization of issues is what will drown us in this country. And speaking of politicization, play the video of Mr. Ken, welcome party at the Finance Ministry for Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta being welcomed after I read that budget with a bag, green bag, baluti that we're told cost more than $4,000. Play for me. People who don't earn $4,000 per annum were clapping for him. Play.
Johnny's Bite. On Sunrise, Johnny's
So these are staff
Johnny's Bite.
of the Ministry of Finance. And you know how I've complained about party people working in civil service, in the security service, protocol people who are connected to party people working in these places, and the real civil servants who are supposed to be in the middle. Guess what? Earlier this year, they were asking for neutrality allowance. These people who are gathered there, obviously showing partisanship, were there asking for neutrality allowance. And they were asking for neutrality allowance for us to pay them. Show Mr. Bampo. Mr. Bampo has written a letter. I will read that to you. But show him. He's the leader of the pack. And he's not happy. CLOGSAG, they went on a strike because they wanted neutrality allowance, because they said that as civil servants, they had to be neutral. They were asking for neutrality allowance. Now they gather to welcome the finance minister, whose company makes more money whenever he advises us to borrow, and the nation is stuck in debt. Fact. When you talk about it, they say, oh yes, that's correct. But is it legal? The same people said, I will protect the public purse. They ask you that what the finance minister and his people have done, is it illegal? I say, oh, it is not illegal. Is it moral? I don't know.
Johnny's Bite.
Whenever the finance minister and his team advises us to go for loans, right? To go for loans, he makes money as transaction advisors. We go at a loss because we have to pay the loans over time. Fact. Now they are singing Yedin Kunim Yediko, Yebese Dibium. You remember when the Apia Kubi led committee, the Apia Kubi led defiant members of parliament, Eugene of Subi, all of them, over 100 of them, they came together and said, we want to see the back of Ken Ofori-Atta. They said that in parliament, that we will not participate in the budget hearing, reading, debate, and approval if Ken Ofori-Atta stays and Charles Edubuahin stays. Charles Edubuahin has since been sacked.
Johnny's Bite.
But Ken Ofori-Atta remains. And another budget has been read. The first budget that they said they won't participate, that's 21st in November 2021. They said they won't participate. 2022 has passed. 2023 has passed. He's still there. He's there. He has not gone anywhere. So when the people sing Yedin Kunim Yediko, it's because Mr. Ofori-Atta has triumphed. Yedin Kunim, what job was Kunim? And these MPs told us that it is because of, put a CLOGSAG letter for me. These MPs told us that it is because their constituents told them to come and say that they want to see the era of Ken Ofori-Atta end. Then when the president called them to the meeting at Alisa Hotel, which the vice president, I told you, refused to attend because of the squabbles they have in cabinet, they maintained that party first. In fact, the party even wrote a letter to that effect. Has the MPP party written a notice or a letter about the unruly behavior of some hoodlums calling themselves party executives who besiege the studio of UTV?
Johnny's Bite.
Then they finish and come and tell you, we are protecting press freedom. Nipaya Cobra. This is a press release, 17 November 2023. CLOGSAG. To all media house. Civil service must reprimand finance ministry staff for cheering Ofori-Atta after budget reading. Kwabena Donko, that's what he says. So the Civil and Local Government Staff Association, CLOGSAG, since 2017 has issued series of press releases and even wrote officially to the presidency condemning the appointment of personal assistants who were made to encumber civil service positions in the Ministry of Finance and are paid better remuneration than that of the ordinary civil servants. Fact. They bring party boys and girls, they put them in the position, they give them vehicles, they give them money, they make them travel, they give them better per diem, and they don't respect the civil servants. Some of them don't even know how to do the work, but they have been brought there, and the civil servants have been cowed. You think I'm joking? Go to every ministry in this country. You have public relation officers who are civil servants. And then aside that, you have spokespersons who are paid better than the PROs. Go and check. Again, there were several apparatchiks and Goro boys hovering around the same ministry on a daily basis seeking political favors. No wonder the Ministry of Finance has worshipped and praised, was worshipped and praised on his return from Parliament after presenting the 2024 annual budget. Honorable Dr. Kwabena Donkor, ranking member of the Employment Committee of Parliament, condemned Ministry of Finance staff for chairing the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta after the 2024 budget, as cited in a video clip. CLOGSAG would wish to state that even though there were officers at the Ministry of Finance welcoming the Minister of Finance back to his office from Parliament House, Honorable Dr. Kwabena Donkor did not remember that the menace of appointment of apparatchiks and numerous personal assistants had been harped by CLOGSAG. So CLOGSAG is now defending himself on by CLOGSAG. If he had, he would not have presumed that all the cheerleaders in the video were civil servants. But they are there. They are employed, Mr. Bampo. Lawyer Bampo, they are employed. They are there. Bawunsem, they are there. As if we're doing some praise and worship in church. Suffice it to say that parliamentarians are voted into parliament to enact laws. Where such laws are being violated in their presence in Parliament, CLOGSAG expects the parliamentarians to exert their power and nullify such violation. Parliamentarians are not supposed to enforce laws. Parliamentarians are supposed to enact laws. You are a lawyer, sir. The laws are supposed to be enforced by another body, not parliamentarians. They are supposed to enact the laws. Boss, you got this one wrong. They are supposed to enact the laws. Again, now it says a case in point in the law enabling MMDCs to collect property rates, which was submitted by Minister of Finance in the 2023 budget without any amendment to the law. When budgets are read in Parliament, they are debated, amendments are made, and it is done. Boss, I like you. It is not interesting to note, is it not interesting to know that the administrative procedure for collecting property rates is being reversed to the status quo to enable MMDCs to be responsible for the collection of the property rates in 2024? Government got that wrong. I mentioned it here. We have expected the MP for Prue East to ask for parliamentarians to be disciplined for failing to perform their duties and for allowing the Minister of Finance to usurp their authority. In this murky environment, no attempt will be made to sacrifice the ordinary civil servant. If the Minister of Finance on his return from Parliament after presenting the 2024 budget got his apparatchiks, personal assistants, Goro boys and foot soldiers to cheer and praise him, now who caused harm? Did they ask we? We they ask you, boss. We they ask you. Yes, you are responding to Kwabena Donkor now. But the reality on the ground is that those apparatchiks, those Goro boys, they exist. This morning, some are taking their back to go there. You find a lot of them, they go to the office and do nothing. And the people who are employed, who were interviewed, who wrote aptitude tests, who have gone up in their ranks and they have served diligently by dint of hard work, they have no work to do. I said, go to the ministries. There are PROs and then there are spokespersons. Who speaks for who? When the political matter comes up, the spokespersons come and talk. And sometimes they don't even understand the subject matter that they are talking about. And this is how we have politicized all our state institutions. The other time, somebody told me at Gihok that they had brought a whole desk there and they were registering NPP party people and they put it on the management page. I've been told not to share WhatsApp. I would have shared that here. They put it on the management page at Gihok.
Johnny's Bite.
That they are registering MPP people and that if you also belong to another party and you have the avenue to get people registered, you can also come and put your desk there and register. What it means is that if I'm there at Gihok and I work there, and I don't know if that has happened in any other places, and I work there and I don't belong to the MPP, and so I do not go and register, then I become a target. Wow, what are we turning our civil service and state institutions into? Partisan political institutions and declaring losses. You can be related to the president or the chief of staff by marriage or by whatever it is. When the courts call you, you will answer, you appear. We must stop this rubbish. It must stop. Now, this morning, before we go into the community voices, there's a gentleman who has donated 1,000 bags of rice.
Johnny's Bite.
And trucks of plantain. I just want to give him plaudits. 1,000 bags of rice and plantain. This morning when I got here, I said, hey, 1,000 bags of rice and plenty plantain. Plenty plantain for ampesi, plantain for cocoa and beans, plantain for gobe, plantain for life, plantain for everything. So we want to thank them. We're still in our quest. And all of this is going to the Volta region, the victims of the dam spillage, parts of Eastern region, etc. So God bless him, and God bless all of you for also bringing your things. Call me 055-924-2717.